Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I will show you a recap of a 2016 American science fiction psychological thriller titled 10 Cloverfield Lane. As always, spoiler alert, watch out and take care. As the film opens, we meet a lady named Michelle hurriedly packing her things to leave. She's had an argument with her boyfriend and is determined to leave before he gets home. She leaves her ring behind and drives off. After a long stretch, night falls, and as she stops for fuel, a suspicious car pulls up and concerns her, but to her relief, nothing happens. She continues, but not long after, she receives a call from her boyfriend asking her to come back to solve the issue, but she hangs up without saying a single word. He is stubborn and calls once more, but this time she can't answer as the car closes in fast and crashes into her car, causing it to roll severely off the road. When she gets up, she finds herself in a strange room on a drip, insinuating a sort of medical attendance, but her movement is limited as her leg is chained to the wall, throwing her into panic. She then notices some of her belongings on the other side of the room and tries to reach them using the drip bar. After several attempts, she finally gets her phone, but it doesn't bring any relief as there is no network coverage. At that very moment, she hears heavy footsteps approaching and braces herself for the worst when the heavy doors open. A heavy giant man named Howard enters the room with some food. She is terrified and threatens him, saying that her boyfriend will call the police soon. But he remains calm and he does his job, saying that no one cares about her. He then offers her the keys to her cuffs and crutches to help her walk due to her injured leg. After leaving, she quickly uncuffs herself and sharpens the edge of one of the crutches using the key. She then stands by the door, ready to attack, but he doesn't show up. She then notices a ventilation duct in the room and, to bring him back, she lights a cloth with matches from the belongings which sets off an alarm. True to her prediction, he shows, but her weak condition doesn't allow for much as he easily contains her and administers a sedative. When she gets up, he is still in the room and informs her how lucky she is that he saved her from not only the accident but also something much bigger. He informs her of an attack and that he assumes is from the Russians or Martians, but also cites that it could be an external attack that has contaminated the air above the ground. He assures her of safety and says that they are in a bunker below the farmhouse. When she asks to use the phone to call her family, he informs her that there is no life outside of the bunker because people succumb to the toxic gases. The conversation is interrupted by a commotion from the next room, indicating the presence of a second occupant of the bunker, and Howard moves to deal with it. Later, she is awakened by the sound of a moving car above her room and finds her door unlocked. As she wanders around, she runs into another man named Emmett, who claims to have been down there for a while. He has a sling in his arm that signals a serious injury. She is quick to ask about a way out, but he seems pleased as he seemingly believes Howard's words. Howard soon joins them and leads her through the bunker setup and finally to the restroom. He asks her to use the curtain but refuses to leave, citing his fear of a second fire incident from her. Later on, she informs him about the car incident, but he is pessimistic, saying that the driver is dead by now. But she is adamant about calling for help, but he says once again that there is no one to call and even points to a radio that is no longer broadcasting. To bring reality closer, he escorts her to a vantage point at the bunker's entrance, from where she observes two overly dilapidated piglets that he says are a result of the toxic air. Not far away, she notices Howard's truck, which triggers a flashback from the night of the accident, revealing that he was the one that crashed into her car, but says nothing about it. Later, she inquires about Howard from Emmett, who reveals that Howard served in the Navy in addition to dealing with satellites. He bought a property a while ago and hired him to help set up a bunker when he anticipated an attack. She informs him that he abducted her in the bunker, but Emmett is surprised since he had to fight his way in and gives her some backstory. On his way home from work, he saw a bright red flash that appeared to be an explosion in the distance. He rushed to Howard's and found him locking up and had to fight his way in, which accounts for his injured arm. However, a doubtful Michelle informs him about the car as she heard earlier, but he doubts, saying that the air is toxic as Howard holds. They are interrupted by Howard, who calls them to dinner while repeating that the air is toxic. As they eat, he mentions his daughter Megan, who he says was a good cook but is no longer with them, and adds that Michelle would be cooking soon. Michelle, who is all eyes, notices his keys and plots a plan to get them. She uses jealousy to manipulate Howard as she fakes intimacy with Emmett. As he blows up at her, she risks and acquires the keys from him. However, it's not long before he notices his missing keys, prompting her to hit him using a bottle as she rushes to the exit. While following her, he asks her not to open the door. He almost captures her, but she is on time as she locks herself into the viewport. She is about to open the door when she sees a car approaching, from which a seemingly sick lady gets out. The lady knocks on the door and chemical burns on her skin are evident, which scares her. Although the lady says it touched her lightly, Howard urges Michelle to keep the door locked, which he does, and the lady finally gives up. He later reveals that the lady was his neighbor, named Leslie, who, like many others, knew about the bunker. He reiterates that they did not help anyone as they would put their own lives in danger. In the next cut, Howard makes his way into her room, this time with a confession. He admits that he caused the accident as he was speeding to his bunker after the attack was launched. He then offers her some of Megan's clothing and asks her to shower to eliminate any toxic traces she might have collected through the viewport's door hinges earlier on. Later on, he asks her to stitch the wound she earlier inflicted on him as she tried to escape. He then offers her a box containing books, which he grabbed from the car, which are clothes designs drafted by her. He also mentions that Megan was artistic and shows her a photo, but adds that her mother turned against him. This changes Michelle's mindset about him, and what follows is a jolly period as they all play together as a family. However, this is cut short when the bunker experiences tremors, which Howard presumes to be a second alien attack, since he had noted an increase in coded data traffic from the satellite. These tremors disrupt their air filtration system, meaning that they will be running out of breathable air soon. Their hope lands squarely on Michelle, who, according to Howard, is small enough to fit in the ventilation duct to access the system. Howard warns her to be careful since they won't be in a position to help her if she gets stuck. Weighing her options, she finally takes the offer and squeezes her way through the duct into the system and reboots it as directed. Her attention shifts to the skylight in the room, but on closer look, she is shocked to find the word help scratched on the window from the inside. And on her way down, she collects some earrings at the base of the ladder. She reveals the bloody earrings and message to Emmett. When she shows him the photo of the lady, Howard claimed it is her daughter. Emmett is quick to recognize her as his sister's schoolmate who went missing 2 years ago. As she places the photo back, a second photo of the lady with Howard falls off the book, with the lady wearing the outfit Howard offered her to wear. Convinced that he is not who they thought Howard was, the duo hatches a coup to turn the tables. The most important item is the safety gear, and Michelle, being a designer, realizes that the bathroom's curtain is a good material to make one. Emmett heads to the kitchen to pick up a scissors and indirectly convinces Howard to get rid of the curtain. He cites a contamination possibility since Michelle took a bath there after getting too close into contact with the toxins in their air filtration system. This works as Howard disposes of it and the duo retrieves it. The design process kicks off thanks to Michelle's design skills coupled with the tons of books and surplus resources in the bunker. They plan to disarm him and tie him up while one of them heads out to seek help. Not long after, Michelle is almost caught by Howard, but manages to hide the suit under her bedding. He calls her to help her move her barrel to the washroom and reveals its content to be perchloric acid, a powerful acid that dissolves most biological matters on contact. It turns out that he discovered some of their items and demands to know the truth. Emmett carries the baggage, saying he was planning an attack on him to get his gun, so that Michelle respects him the same way she respects Howard. Emmett apologizes and Howard accepts, but doesn't give him time to sin once again, as he sends him to the other side. He then sends Michelle to her room as he is left behind to take care of the body. With her chances diminishing by the hour, she finishes her outfit but hears Howard approaching her room. She hides the outfit and helmet in the ventilation duct. But things go south when a bolt falls off in Howard's presence and he takes a closer look. He notices the tip of her outfit. Having her cover blown, she makes her way to the toolbox to pick a canned air spray to help crack padlocks since it's hard to get the keys from Howard. Howard is in pursuit, but she pushes the barrel in his direction and leaves him burning up. Unfortunately, it sparks a fire. She picks up her outfit and is about to leave and she bumps into a disfigured Howard who is still in pursuit, but she dodges him by pushing supplies on him. She is forced to use the ventilation duct since the fire has blocked the exit. Howard still manages to get over the supplies and proceeds to attempt to stab her with no success. She finally gets to the filtration system and breaks the skylight's padlock with the aid of the canned air spray. She makes her way to the truck, and not long after, a flock of birds fly past her. Using her common sense, she removes the mask and to her relief, nothing happens. But her attention shifts when she notices a massive alien aircraft in the distance. Suddenly, the bunker explodes, attracting the attention of the slowly approaching aircraft, prompting her to hide in the truck. She notices Leslie's car and tries to access it, but this sets off the alarm. She runs into the nearby shed, where she finds Leslie's body and searches for her keys. However, she is shocked when she notices a strange creature coming in at her from the distance from the car, but luckily doesn't notice her. Using a second exit, she makes her way, but is unlucky as the creature is chasing her as she runs towards a nearby house screaming for help. The creature then suddenly stops chasing as it notices an oncoming aircraft. The craft releases a green gas, prompting Michelle to run to the truck to retrieve her mask, and is lucky to get there on time. However, things worsen as the creature picks up the truck by its tentacles and draws it towards its mouth, with Michelle who has almost given up. The situation brightens when she notices a strong liquor and that she uses to make a Molotov cocktail and launches it into the creature's mouth, causing it to explode as it releases the truck. Using the key she retrieved from Leslie, she picks up her car and drives off. A radio broadcast runs asking any survivors to head to Baton Rouge. People with combat or medical experience are asked to head to Houston to offer a helping hand. After a short stop at the crossroad, she finally decides to head to Houston to offer a helping hand. After all, she's acquired heavy combat skills over the past few days. The movie ends as she heads there with a lightning flash, reveals more alien aircrafts are signaling the battle isn't over yet. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content just like this. And if you have a movie you'd like us to recap, let us know in the comment section below, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.